This protocol, BGP, is special is because of the attributes. It is because of the ability to select path according to your need. That's why this is special. According to your need, you can make BGP to recommend a path to the routing table. To do the same job with other routing protocols, it's not easy. But with this protocol, it is easier than any other protocol. And also, the other protocols are IGP. We should not use it because they will not be able to provide security while distributing the routes. It will sometimes distribute the internal routes because IGPs are meant to be internal. BGP is between autonomous systems. So BGP is special because it is designed for special purpose. When you use that, then your work will be easier than doing the same job with other protocols. This is specially made to fit into those areas where you got a lot of policies. And the compatibility is achieved using this attributes. BGP path selection is not simply based on bandwidth or delay or hop count. It is based on attributes. Now, these attributes are broadly classified like this. BGP's metric is what we call it as attribute. But again, why then a new word? Why not the same old word, metric? Why a new word? BGP metrics are called as path attributes. It's not a simple metric. So there is a need for another word, attributes. Because by using the attributes, you can change the behavior of the protocol. That is why it is attribute, behavior connected. We all have behavior. It is because we have attributes. For example, if I talk about going to a restaurant in France, going to a restaurant in our location for a dinner, I'll have an option. You will have a different option. It is because we both have different expectations from the dinner. Because you live there for long years, we have got attached to those local foods now. So you may prefer a restaurant where European kind of food. But me, when I prefer a restaurant, I see where is that Talapakatti biryani. Where is that Adyar Ananda Bhavan? Where is that Sangeeta Veg Restaurant? Where is that restaurant board name says Madrasi Hotel? You know, so though we both want to have a dinner, the choice that we make is not same, because I have different expectation, you have different expectation. Likewise. Though BGP is between autonomous systems, not everyone will have similar policy. One ISP will have policy A, another ISP will have policy B for the same autonomous system to autonomous system relationship. So you cannot have just one metric in the protocol which combines the entire internet. Because in the internet, people are of different expectations. According to the expectation of the autonomous system by autonomous system service providers, the protocol should bend, the protocol should support. So we need this protocol which has got attributes. We don't want that protocol that has got simple metric. So BGP metrics are called as attributes, rich metrics. They're not simple metrics. They're very rich metric. Characteristics of path attribute includes well-known versus optional, mandatory versus discretionary, transitive versus non-transitive, partial. What these are all? Well-known means popular, famous, known to every BGP appliance. Every BGP appliance will know it, will have it for sure. It will be there. Such attributes are well known. Optional or opposite. Some vendors have got those attributes. Not all of them have got it. Those are optional attributes. Under the well-known, you can again classify this into two. Mandatory well-known, discretionary well-known. Well-known mandatory, well-known discretionary. Well-known mandatory are the one which should be verily, without fail, should be there. Like next hop. Next hop is a mandate for every route advertisement. When an advertisement is received, without next hop, it is of no use. Yeah. So it is important to know from where the advertisements are coming so that if I need to reach that network, I can go there. Next hop is a well-known mandatory. But there are some attributes which are very popular, well-known, but even if it is not there, it is okay. That is well-known discretionary. Under optional, you have again two type of classification: transitive, non-transitive. This optional attribute, if it is there, only then the update will be used or given to other neighbor, which means non-transitive. I repeat, this optional attribute which can be used and given to others only if the update have got this optional attribute. Sorry, I want to reframe it. There is an update I received from someone, and now I'll use the update, and also I will give this update only if this optional attribute is there. Only if it is there, I will give and use. If not, I won't use, I won't give, which means it's an optional non-transitive. If it is not there, I won't use, I won't give. That is optional non-transitive. Opposite is optional transitive. What does that mean, optional transitive? If this optional attribute is not there also, I will mark that update as partial update and I'll use it and give it. I'll use it, I'll also give it by marking it as partial. Even though it is not there, I still use the update, I give the update. That is why it is optional transitive. If I don't use and give this update, if this optional is not there, then it is optional non-transitive. This is what explained in next 2 pages. Let's go. Read it yourself. Well-known mandatory, well-known discretionary. Let's move on to the next one. Read it yourself. Now, you see here, there are few examples. The first top 3 are well-known. In fact, all of these are well-known, but only the first 3 are mandatory. In every single update, if this 3 is not there, then it is not a valid packet. These 3 are mandatory. ES path, next hop, and origin. You know what is the ES path? The autonomous system number that comes in the advertisement. Those autonomous systems that are in the path through which the advertisements have been distributed. That's the ES path. Next is the next hop attribute. For sure, there should be an address as the next hop in order to accept it as a valid. Even if it is unreachable, it is okay. To be a valid update, the next hop should be there. That's why it is mandatory. It needs to be there. Origin is totally new to what you understand from the word origin. Origin, you will think, okay, local origin. Next stop will be 000. Weight will be 32768. No, I'm not talking about that origin. This well-known mandatory origin will say whether this person is born and brought up in this place or immigrant. That origin is this a human being or a robot which is AI enabled took citizenship into this country. Is he a human or robot citizen? Yeah, days are coming. There will be a citizenship given to robots. Evil world. What to do? Mad people on top. So that explains the origin. How this citizen origin? From the womb of the mother or from the factory? Even in BGP, it's the same story. What? You can receive an update about a network which is advertised is equal to someone born from mother's womb. The other one is redistributed from some other source into BGP, which is like a robot becoming a citizen. Definitely that differentiation is needed, you know. This planet belongs to human being. There is no point of comparing human being with AI enabled machines, but people will compare and debate in coming days who is bigger, for whom this world belongs. This nonsense stuff will happen. It will take quite a long time, but this is going to happen. To whom this earth belongs. So now to give high priority to human, this origin need to be marked. This is not a normal citizen. This citizen is bolt and nut. So give low priority. Whereas the other citizen is of blood and flesh. Give him high priority. This bolt and nut, low priority. Blood and flesh, high priority. So that differentiation need to be given. For that, the origin marking should be there. If you simply say citizen, citizen, then all the rights and privileges of human being will also go to that brainless, human-controlled machine, which can be used as a weapon against people. You see, already this AI started acting as a bad weapon against people. For example, ChatGPT. Like 25, 40 years before, when I was small, there was no fight between Muslims and Christians and Hindus. It was a peaceful place. My town was a peaceful place. We were all very nice human beings. But lot of divisions because of this advancement in information technology. Now, if you go to AI and say, which is the best religion? Who is God? It will say Allah is God. Why it is saying like that? It want a fight between Hindu, Muslim, Christian. Who is that AI? Who is the ChatGPT? It's a human being behind the evil force. It is not from heaven or it is not from a Quran. It's a human man-made tool called ChatGPT. And these people say, see, ChatGPT itself said Allah is the only God and all other gods are devils and all other religions are nothing. This is what man-made AI can do. Divisions, hatedness between people. Can AI speak truth? No. It can speak only what those group of people told. Can ChatGPT speak the truth? How can? It's not a god. It's a man-made tool. People should understand that. They make that as a scene and see this actor was asking, who is God? And it said, Allah is the only God. And you see, now all Hindus, you should feel bad for yourself. Something like that, the picture in YouTube, this is nonsense. Of course, God is only one. There cannot be more than one. The creator of heaven and earth, the creator of you and me, is a loving God, not the one who puts hatredness in the people's mind. God never likes it. Can a father want children to fight? No. When we are all created by one Almighty, how can we fight causing divisions among people? And now tools like ChatGPT is used as an evil tool. See, I was trying to use ChatGPT in various networking training preparations. Lot of mistakes in networking the ChatGPT gives. Lot of wrong configurations. It is because whatever it has been fed, only it will speak. ChatGPT cannot speak something which has not been fed into. That's a tool. It's not from heaven. It's not from God. It's a man-made tool. How can you take that one as a evidence to see who the Almighty is? Almighty is love. Almighty is patient, compassion, gracious, kind, giver. And this man-made tool, how can man-made tool speak who is God? And how can you put those videos and say, this is what the reality, this is the truth. See, ChatGPT itself told. Funny people. So we have to see the origin from where this tool is coming. Is it coming from heaven or from human? Origin is important. Network, how it originated into BGP. Is it redistributed into BGP or is it advertised using network command? Very important so that we can give importance to the one which originated within BGP using network command and ignore the other one which has been redistributed. If you have an option of taking whether the redistributed one or the advertised one, which one you should take? The advertised one, not the redistributed. Why? Redistributed is not the source of that same protocol. It is sourced from some other protocol. So to know God, you should go deep into Quran, not ChatGPT. You should go deep into your religious book, Bhagavad Gita, not ChatGPT. You should go deep into Bible, not ChatGPT. Go and see who God is. Every book says one Almighty created the heaven and earth, and He is a peace lover. He's a peace giver. He loves everyone equal. He don't put seed like hated seeds. He don't cause fight between country to country and continent to continent. He's a giver of all good things. That's what every religious book teaches. Go deep and see. You will see one God in all books. Name may be different, but there is only one God. In English, you say God. In Arabic, you say Allah. It's a language, man. It's a language. Just language. In English, in Arabic Bible, for God, it is said Allah. In Christian Bible, it is said Allah. It's a language, man. I don't know how these funny people make it as a fight. Contradictory words. They are saying contradictory. No, it's not contradictory. Everything says one Almighty who created heaven and earth. Search in the right place, not in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is one dumb, foolish tool. I was trying using that like 30 days. I was checking that one for various topics. All wrong information it conveys, which is not fully developed. Origin is important. From which source you learn. Even BGP looks for that. If it is advertised, it will have I. It will have what? I. If it is advertised using network command. If it is redistributed, it will have question mark. Now, one neighbor is giving me with I, another neighbor is giving the same network with question mark. So this router should pick this path, not this one. Yeah. You should know which one to pick. Even some good people use ChatGPT as a reference and say, see, ChatGPT has already told that this is what the truth is. Of course, Allah is God. But the other word, English word equivalent to Allah is God. G-O-D, God. That's the English translation for Allah. Why you are making division among people and make them fight? Right. Now, local preference is an attribute which is well known but not mandatory. MED is again multi-exit discriminator, well known but not mandatory, meaning it is not necessary to be configured to be a valid one. Even if those things are not there in the update, still the update is valid and best. Right? So we are going to go deep into this understanding of each attribute so that whenever there is a requirement, you will know which attribute to tune. To meet the requirement, you will know which attribute to tune. You see, there is a AS path attribute. In the AS path attribute, you will have the attribute list that are there in the path to reach the destination. For example, here, when B router learns this network 192.168.1.0, when this update comes from here, it will come like this with the AS path attribute 65500 64520. That shows that this is the very next autonomous system for this one, and the following autonomous system is this one, and this is the place from where it originated. This is the autonomous system from where this network is advertised. Yeah. So what is BGP AS path attribute? It's the metric based on AS numbers, the sequence or list of AS numbers in the path. AS path attribute is a list of autonomous systems that a route has traversed. So this route has traversed here and here. So using that route, you can go now. For example, on router B, the path to 192.168.1.0 is the AS sequence of this and this. The AS path attribute is well known, mandatory. Next, hop attributes. We all know these attributes very well. The eBGP's address will be carried into IBGP. That's why when this network is advertised from A, B receives with this real next hop address, but when B gives to the IBGP neighbor C, it is keeping that same address and giving it to router C. We have learned these things earlier, but here our focus is this attribute is a well-known mandatory, and this is how it behaves. Next, origin attribute. As I said earlier, origin can be IGP. Don't think this is interior gateway protocol. No, no, no. It is interior gateway to BGP protocol, meaning it is BGP's own protocol. Within BGP's process, this network was introduced. So the network is added into BGP by going inside BGP and saying, BGP, please advertise this. So BGP takes that network as its own, advertises it. Whereas this one is not like that. Some other protocol or static route, we take it and we force it, inject it into BGP. It's not BGP's own, it is adapted one. Whereas this one is BGP's own. BGP's own will have I. Adapted one will have question mark. Don't know from where it is originally. It may be from OSPF, it may be from EIGRP, it may be from static route. Don't know. When you receive the network, you don't know. Someone redistributed somewhere and you are receiving it. You will receive it with question mark, that's all. Which very clearly says that it is not advertised, it is not BGP's own, it has been injected into BGP. Once upon a time, long ago, very long ago, there was one protocol called EGP. You don't have it anymore. BGP is many times better than EGP. So we completely removed this. We don't have it. There is also kind of BGP, but not that advanced. So it is gone. In case if any router runs EGP, you will take the route and redistribute it. So now I is more weightage than E. I said E is also somewhat similar to BGP, but not that advanced like our BGP. And redistribution is not having really a good weightage. This is less preferred. Small is highly preferred. Small is highly preferred. So what is origin attribute? It informs all autonomous system in the network how the prefixes were introduced into BGP. For you to understand, let me tell you. Somewhere in the other end of the world, Australia, someone redistributed. You can see that in your router in France, how it has been introduced. You will see question mark, then you can say that in Australia someone has redistributed. If it has got I, then you will say in Australia they have advertised. See, between Australia and your location, there are many countries as well as some continents. Many autonomous systems. That is why they use the word internet work. Origin attribute informs all autonomous system in the internet work. See how wonderful these attributes are. You may be very far, but still you will know how this has been introduced. It is very important attribute. That's why they made it as a mandatory, well known and mandatory. Everyone should know which one to prefer and which one to ignore. That's why it is made as mandatory. Good, at least in BGP they made it as a mandatory one. Own network and redistribute. Which one to trust? Own or redistributed? Yeah, someone want to say something. Yes. You will not see E at all because it's a very old protocol. No device right now have it. If you have very old routers, you may have it, but I don't think anyone will have. I have not seen one till today. From 2007, I'm working with routers. I have not seen one so far. I've not seen one. Yeah, so that's origin. You see here, when you type show IP BGP, you can see almost every attribute here. One is the next stop attribute we have already seen many times. This shows which neighbor gives you the update. And we know this AS path attribute. And now we just saw origin. You can see everywhere I. I means local origin. BGP is not locally advertised. This is local origin. This is locally advertised. I'm not talking about this origin. I'm talking about origin code. You see, origin code is different from local origin. Local origin will have next stop 0000. But this is origin code we are talking about, I. I is lower than E and question mark. Lower is preferred. But this I is different. This I means it is received from an IGP router. Received from an IBGP router. Received this update is coming from an IBGP. That's why you see local preference also. And we'll talk about local preference in our next class. But what I'm trying to say is if you see here I, it means it is internal. It is being given by your internal BGP, not EBGP. When you see R, it means rib failure. We have spoken about this earlier, right? Routing information based failure. If we have not spoken about this, don't worry, then it will come in the next slides. Yes, it is coming later. Local origin is 000. Origin code is different. IE question mark. I here in the beginning is internal or external, and R is routing information based failure. It means you have a BGP giving this, also another protocol giving this, another protocol is preferred because of lower administrative distance. If it is not covered earlier, it will be definitely coming later. All right, so we'll stop here. We'll continue.